with a pip-pip-ho and a cheerio. We're off pursuing adventure. You can search the land from sky to sand, but you'll not find any brave and bold as our band. We fearless few, ever stalwart and true.
Welcome to the BrassGears Adventurers Society's BrassGears Adventure Radio, brought to you by Kentucky's own bourbon. Always goes down crisp, always goes down smooth. In the past, we've had adventures with the Tengai Gambit, the Lucky Ducks, and the Time Machine, but today's adventure takes us to the stars in our little space opera we call Uranus Attacks. Our story begins one early evening in a dark and dusty London alleyway.
You there, sir. Would you like to support the suffrage of women?
Lady, I already know about suffering.
No, I mean extending women the right to vote.
You know, I'll vote for anyone who'll shut up those temperance people.
Well, I never.
My favorite, Kentucky's own bourbon. Always goes down crisp. Always goes down smooth.
Please stop drinking and pay attention. Can I count on you, sir, to cast your vote for...
Hey, how many of you are there?
Oh, seeing double now, are you?
Looks like you brought your other friends.
Who are you talking about? Ah!
Invaders from another world!
Major cities under siege.
Flying saucers traced back to the planet Uranus.
H.G. Wells no está disponible para comentar.
Thousands hospitalized from poison gas.
Monsieur Jules Verne est en prison pour la conspiration.
World leaders gather at the conference at the University of Oxford, Iowa.
Damit Kaiser declares, ich komme weiter.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
President Paxton Pullman. How did the conference go?
The world leaders have come up with nothing, so I've come to you, Pope Barnabas Brass Boilerplate, in hopes that the Church has some ideas. Do you and your mystical order of the Aethernaut Brotherhood have any divine wisdom on how we can fight off these space aliens?
Flash Gordon is off on Mongo and John Carter is still on Mars. Captain Nemo hasn't surfaced in a while, and Buck Naked still hasn't exposed himself. I guess you'll have to find Snap O'Grady.
Snap O'Grady? You mean Teddy Roosevelt's decoy and leader of that adventurers club?
The very same.
Isn't he just a photographer?
Not so, Madam President. Snap O'Grady is a man of many talents. He's seen plenty of action on the Brass Falcon airship. He spent some time undercover in the South Pacific as a bouncer in a tiki bar frequented by the despicable Order of the Whispering Bones, and he survived that explosion in Vienna during that Tengai Gambit fiasco.
Very well. I'll find him.
Do we know any more about these alien invaders? Now, looking through my telescope, I can clearly see Uranus looming above our heads. It's a most precarious position. What further horrors will it drop on us?
Can I have a look at Uranus too? I hear their attacks on us were silent but deadly.
Yes. Now go make sure Snap O'Grady is on the case.
I'll get in touch with him now.
Good, Madam President. We can all trust in Snap O'Grady's determination and resolve. Go in peace. I have spoken.
Several days later, in the gas-flooded ruins of Iowa City.
Monty, are you sure these new gas masks are working properly?
My dear Mrs. Fogg, our Professor Dane assured me they would last long enough to get into and out of the vault. See, even my trusted corgi, Sir Neelix, agrees.
How do we know that the Order of the Whispering Bones is still active at this hidden laboratory?
Think about it, Susanna. Unless they were in league with the aliens, they would have been taken by surprise too.
These streets are completely deserted, but keep a lookout for any Whispering Bones agents. It could be a trap.
I still don't trust Professor Dane and his gas masks.
I don't trust Mr. Fogg and his experimental explosive we're trying to get back from those boners.
This is the building.
You're right, Neelix. Shh! They aren't abandoned.
Blast it! Fogg sent us into a trap.
Don't blame me. Quit bickering. We knew this was a possibility. My husband, Mr. Fogg, knew they would have gas masks too. That's why Professor Dane planned for a stealth approach.
Fine. Here. I'll use the grappling gun so we can enter through the roof. Ladies first. After you, Susanna. Mrs. Fogg. As our team silently climbs to the roof, they quickly pick the lock to a door to gain entrance into the dreaded lair of the Whispering Bones.
Here's the map. All we have to do is disable the security from the control room at the end of this hallway here, open the vault, snag the device, and escape.
That ventilation shaft is a little smaller than I thought it would be. I won't fit.
We can send Sir Neelix. He's small enough.
Can we trust your trash panda to press the correct button to open the vault?
He's a Pembroke Welsh corgi, not a panda.
All right, fluffy furball.
Now, Neelix, go in there and press the green button.
Captain McAllister, you do know that dogs are colorblind, right?
Oh, shite.
Hey, where are they all going? Didn't they see us through those primitive gas masks? Looks like they're heading downstairs.
Who cares? They left the main control room door open.
Look, there's Neelix, and he's got the device. Let's get out of here.
Quick, Monty, Susanna, to the velocipede. Snap O'Grady?
What the bloody blue blazes are you doing here?
Forget why. Get into the blasted velocipede.
Somewhere, an enormous flying saucer looms menacingly above the Earth. But what could these diabolical invaders beyond the stars want from our fair planet? If only there were some way to see inside the brown hole, the alien mothership, and see what foulness is forthcoming.
Blimey, where am I? How much did I have to drink? Hey, you're that suffragette from the alley. Did your buddy slip me a Mickey?
Quiet, you nincompoop. They're not my friends. They're some sort of spacemen, and they knocked us out with some kind of smelly gas.
Why'd they put us here in this terrible cage?
I have no... Oh! They're coming! They're so hideous. Look at their tentacles.
Lady, I ain't looking at their testicles.
I said tentacles. Why have you kidnapped us, foul beasts?
Ain't you got nothing to say?
How rude.
Hey, get away from me. What's that weird device?
I think it's some kind of probe.
That's not meant to go in there. Oh!
Oh! Oh! Oh!
What the? I can understand what the creature said. Oh.
I will not be quiet, you fetid, rag-bagging bull-milker. That language translator probe hurt and was dreadfully repulsive.
Oh, you're from Uranus, are you? You think you're all high and mighty. Oh, well, you can stick it up your...
What resources have you come here to take from us? You're clearly not out of male chauvinism.
I can't tell who's male or female. But that there is one great big set of
tentacles.
Did you understand what he said? My translator could be on the fritz.
All I gathered was that these monsters require Earth materials to fill the vast needs of Uranus.
Later, in the besieged metropolis of Des Moines, we go to a moderately sized manor house wherein we find Miss Letitia Potts of the Pennsylvania Potts, wealthy heiress and eligible socialite, and Mr. Phineas Fogg, noted explosives enthusiast and husband to our Mrs. Vivian Grace Fogg. They both sit around a massive walnut table in the mahogany-paneled, book-laden study of the notorious and enigmatic Professor Dane, a fashionable man who harbors many secrets even untold to the Adventurers Society.
Oh, when are we getting out of this dismal war zone? Military couture is so last spring. Anybody who's anybody is in Provence right now.
My dear Miss Potts, believe me, Provence is not nearly far enough away for you.
For you to be safe.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Fogg.
Really, Professor Dane? I should not have lent you my bodyguard, Susanna Davenport, to take part in your foolish scheme.
I assure you, my experimental explosive will be vital in repelling these space invaders.
Ah, our intrepid heroes return.
Did you get it?
Yes, my dear. None the worse for wear.
What is this thing, Fogg?
Why, my good Snap, it's my new prototype explosive device. It's based on a fascinating theory of Tesla's wherein the explosive resonance causes a feedback loop, which loops back into the main coil and causes the steam
Jeez
to
Louise,
rise.
I don't want to hold on to this.
No, you really shouldn't be holding it.
Oh, what's this substance on my device?
Dog drool?
Susanna, let's go. I'm positively bored to tears.
Now, Miss Letitia, You know, I really cannot take you gallivanting around when the world is in crisis. We must deal with these space aliens before we can get back to your social calendar.
Don't I get any respect in this society? I came looking for all of you. I'm on a mission from God. Well, actually, the Pope and the President.
Right. And who else? Queen Victoria.
Geez Louise, I'm not kidding here. The world leaders are stuck with no one else to help us against these Uranus monsters. And if there's one thing I've learned in my life is that a plucky band of misfit adventurers can do anything if they set their mind to it.
But we can't compete with their weapons.
Well then, we just need to steal their weapons and use it against them. Oh, hello. I'm looking for Snap O'Grady and the BrassGears Adventure Society.
Some guard dog you are, Sir Neelix.
By the way, when 5 or more of us are gathered together, we say these 3 words.
Who the devil are you, and how do we appropriate their technology?
Oh, I don't believe I've had the pleasure, my good sir.
Professor Hugo Camilio Winklesham, and the pleasure is all mine, my lovely buttercup.
I beg your pardon?
I just thought that you could use some assistance from someone who's had experience in fending off inhuman invasions. You see, back when I was in the French Foreign Legion in Manchuria, we fought back an assault of the lizard people from the center of the earth.
I never heard of any lizard invasion.
Well, of course not, my good man, because I stopped it with my bravery and ingenuity.
Oh, Professor Winklesham, how did you do?
Please, my delicious cream puff, call me Hugo.
Yes. How did you quell the iguana invasion?
Well, my snuggly tea cozy, with an intellect of my caliber, it was mere child's play. My men were trembling in fright. I knew the lizards were fiercely hierarchical pack animals, and therefore I knew the key was to cut off the head, as it were. So I laid in a brilliant plan of crafting an enormous papier-mâché egg, completely filled with dynamite, which I then offered to the Lizard Queen in a show of false supplication and defeat.
And then what happened?
Yes, and then what happened?
On the backs of an entire cadre of bodyguards, the Lizard Queen took it back to her lair, where the timed explosive ignited the dynamite, collapsing and burying my foes. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much.
Do you need a cart for hauling all of that fertilizer?
A cart? He'd need an entire train to haul off that load of bullsh.
Susanna Davenport, how can you speak so crossly to such a handsome hero?
Are you telling me you're actually believing this ridiculous story?
As the historian of the BrassGears Adventure Society, I have catalogued many outlandish tales, and Hugo's isn't far from the realms of fantasy. As a matter of fact, his Trojan egg idea isn't quite a bad notion.
I take your meaning, Mr. Fogg. The first step in routing the bloody bastards would be severing the command structure, so they cannot coordinate a counterattack. And your experimental explosive would be just the ticket.
But how to get it on board the mothership?
Do we still have a functional airship?
Nay, their saucers knocked all our craft out of the sky.
Wait. There is a farm outside of town with a biplane.
Now remember, before we embark on our mission, whenever 5 or more of us are gathered together, we say these 3 words.
To the velocipede!
Armed with a plan, Snap O'Grady, Professor Dane, Susanna Davenport, Monty McAllister, and Mrs. Fogg raced towards the farm to begin their penetration of the dreaded Uranian brown hole, leaving behind the charming Professor Hugo and the very unattached Letitia Potts of the Pennsylvania Potts, with only Mr. Fogg and Sir Neelix as chaperones.
Getting to your headquarters in such a hurry has made me thirsty. I really could use a spot of tea.
Oh, I simply must show you my new invention. Let me quickly retrieve it from my workshop.
My, Mr. Hugo. The two of us, all alone here? What will people think?
Oh, my saccharine sugar cube! Who could possibly insinuate something untoward? As a sworn monk of Lemuria, my honor is above impunity.
I beg your pardon?
Well, I'm no longer a monk. I was recalled from Lemuria and was forced to renounce my vows on the orders of President Lincoln, because I was the only man he trusted to be the ambassador to Atlantis.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Not half as lovely as you, my pristine snowflake. And I know lovely, for I have seen the dawn break over the mountains of Kathmandu while searching for the elusive Yeti on the peak of Everest.
Ooh, I simply must have Daddy buy an estate there. It sounds so romantic. You'll have to come there with me and show me all the sights.
Behold, my self-brewing tea automaton. I call it Mr. T.
Would you care for a cup of Earl Grey, or Darjeeling, or Lapsang Souchong, or Oolong?
Oh, how splendid! Darjeeling, please. I must have him for my next tea-dueling party. Phineas, make sure you send him to my country estate. Daddy will pay you whatever you require.
My gracious Miss Potts, this one's not for sale. It's merely the prototype. But soon enough there'll be one in every home. Ah, pity the fool who has to brew his tea the old-fashioned way, like some sort of Neanderthal.
You know, Professor Hugo was just regaling me with his adventures. Did you know he introduced some monkeys to the lemurs, and President Lincoln ordered him to march on Atlanta, Georgia, with General Sherman? And he scaled Mount Everest, looking for someone named Betty, and a cat man, too.
Yes, I understand Hugo is quite the abominable showman. Here's your tea, miss.
As Hugo, Letitia, and Mr. Fogg contemplate the future of tea, we turn our gaze back to President Pullman and Pope Brass Boilerplate in the United States interim capital city of Dubuque.
Your Radiance. I just received a telegraph from Snap O'Grady. The Adventurer Society is on the case, for whatever that's worth. As of now, they are our best hope, next to the federally authorized response team.
Those FARTs are nothing but hot air. I knew Snap was the man to wipe out the filth of Uranus. I told you to have faith in O'Grady. He'll show these dingleberries what for.
He wired me a secret plan. Snap and his friends are going to fly up to the mothership and set off a bomb to cripple the alien leadership. Professor Dane even promises to liberate some alien technology for Earth's scientific research and protection.
Excellent, Madam President. Go in peace. I have spoken.
And now, under the cover of darkness, at a small farm, we join Snap, Professor Dane, Monty, Susanna, and Mrs. Fogg as they begin to board a couple of run-down biplanes.
You all have your gas masks. Now be careful, be quiet.
Right. You wouldn't want to give our position away to the Uranians.
Yeah, those a-holes.
Our mission will be twofold. The first team will sneak onto the mothership to cripple it with Fogg's explosive. Our second team of Susanna and I will simultaneously slip on board and obtain alien weapons and intelligence.
Good. Let's go and show those buggers where to stick it.
Let me just say some words before we get in these planes. Understand, we will be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We are going to live on. We are going to survive. But we will be remembered. We few, we adventurous few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. Don't you realize the next time you see the sky, it will be over another Earth. An Earth free from aliens. Right now, it's our time. It's our time down here. Now let's say those 3 words when 5 or more of us are gathered together. Audacia, Scientia, Aventum, daring, science, and adventure.
Now, let's cut the engines and glide in through that open hangar. I'll signal the other plane to follow.
Look, Professor Dane wants us to follow them into that hangar. I can't believe we're crop dusting our way into Uranus.
Now that we're inside, let's see if we can find a map of their place so we know where to go. I wish I hadn't left behind Sir Neelix. He was always good at poking his nose in where it shouldn't go.
Shh! I hear voices. This way. Human voices. Come on!
Wrecked him? Oh, dang near killed him.
Oh, be quiet, you drunken oaf. And how can you still be inebriated? It's been over 2 days since we've been here.
There! In that cage, it's a man and a woman.
Get us out of here!
Get us out of here! Help!
Who are you two? And what are you doing here?
We were captured 7 days ago.
In an alley where the aliens knocked us out with their noxious gas.
We'll set you free, but we're here to blow up the ship. I'm glad we found you two here.
We can help you. The Uranians took us on a tour of their spaceship.
Right. They did something to us. We can speak the language now. And they sure like to gloat and be all high and mighty. We know where the rooms are. By the way, my name is Terence Potter. My friends call me Terry Potter, or just TP.
Well, TP it is then. Excellent. Suzanne and I will take this gentleman with us to look for their weapons room, while Snap, Monty, Mrs. Fogg, and the lady will go find the engine room.
As long as it gets me out of this filthy cage, I know the path to the engines from here.
Wait a minute. I think we're lost. These corridors look all the same.
Yes, this is the way. Follow me.
And don't drop that bomb.
Quickly now, it's getting heavy.
Just a few more turns and we're there.
Oh, good. No guards in here.
There seems to be surprisingly few aliens here on this ship.
Yes, they told me they had budget problems.
I'll set the bomb next to this glowing thing. We have 10 minutes to get clear.
All right, gang. Let's get out of here!
Meanwhile, the drunk uneventfully leads Professor Dane and Susanna Davenport to the ship's armory.
What in hell if it was doing in my pajamas, I would never know.
Are we there yet?
You said these Uranians were a superior species. Why does this ship look like it was built by someone without an engineering degree? It looks like something Letitia would build.
This ship seems entirely deserted. It's awfully unusual to have an alien invasion without any aliens.
In their defense, they said they had budget cuts. Well, here we are.
Are you kidding me? They didn't even lock the door.
That drunk Terry Potter did say they were overconfident.
Oh, what does this do?
Ah! You made a hole in my top hat! I just bought that!
What should we take with us?
Anything that looks like a weapon.
Hey, is that a jetpack?
Well, I can't imagine what else it could be. You better grab it.
Oh, I got it. And it fits. Oh, the others probably made it to the engine room by now. We should get going.
I grabbed a few more items. Let's go.
Speaking of the others, unbeknownst to them, the ship is far from deserted.
Wait, I hear someone coming.
Is it your friends?
No, it's a group of really hideous things, sporting a bunch of
tentacles.
Whatever. We're going to have to fight our way out.
I will not be quiet. You've held us captive on your ship like some animals. But we're not animals. We're human beings.
Now see here, I'm not a man of violence, but we're leaving whether you like it or not. Take that!
Our guns have no effect on them.
These Uranuses have fully plugged up that passageway.
I could really use some prunes right now.
The bomb is still ticking, gentlemen.
Mrs. Fogg, you have to defuse that bomb.
That's impossible. My husband gets so tired of his work being undone. His new explosive cannot be diffused or delayed.
Meanwhile, back to Professor Dane and Susanna.
Professor, I hear sounds of fighting.
I think your friends are in trouble, and I didn't sign up to fight. I'm getting out of here. I got this jetpack, and that's an airlock door. Sayonara, suckers.
Oh, I guess it wasn't a jetpack.
Did he just jump out into thin air with a bomb strapped to his back?
It would appear so. Pity. Mr. Fogg would really like to have studied that bomb. Let's follow the sounds of the fighting and get our friends out of here.
How about a taste of your own medicine?
Ha ha! Take that, you blighters!
It's Susanna and Professor Dane! We're trapped in here! Save yourselves!
We really have to stop making this a habit of us rescuing you, Snap.
I told you to save yourselves. Now you're stuck in here with us.
What happened to that drunk?
We let him go. You might say that TP got flushed out of the spaceship and his career suddenly skyrocketed.
You know that there's less than 1 minute left on Fogg's timer?
Help! I don't want to die in the bowels of this ship.
We must destroy Uranus.
Keep firing, adventurers!
But there's too many of them. I'm giving her all she's got.
Here, try these new weapons we just found. All you have to do is press the button like this.
Ooh. I like these new guns.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nothing happened.
I can't believe Phineas's bomb didn't work. Perhaps we can have another chance at this. I have to go back and check my husband's bond repository. You get the idea.
Well, why don't you just strap a handful of rockets to a white dwarf and smash it into Uranus?
I'm afraid I don't have anything big enough here to blow up the ship.
I'm afraid I'm all out of plans this time, my friends.
I did not think this would be how it would all end. Game over. Game over!
So that's it then. We're defeated. If this is how it ends, I'm going out with a song. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling.
Your singing is affecting the Uranians.
Oh, come on! It's not that bad! From glen to glen and down the mountainside.
Unbelievable. O'Grady, your song has put the aliens into a trance.
Now's our chance to escape.
Wait. I have a plan so cunning you could stick a tail on it and call it a weasel. These aliens use some sort of wireless form of communications between their ships and Uranus. My good suffragette, please take us to the bridge.
And Snap, don't stop singing.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen and down the mountainside.
Here's the bridge, Dane. What are you looking for?
We'll need to broadcast Snap's singing on all of their radio frequencies. That should put the entire fleet to sleep.
I can translate these controls. You're broadcasting now.
How many roads must a man walk down before you can call him a man?
The music is doing more than entrancing them. It's destroying them.
Sail before she can sleep in the sand.
Monty, now that the aliens are gone, can you land this ship?
I fly airships and planes. Now I can add flying saucers to my resume.
I gotta hand it to you, O'Grady. I didn't think you'd pull it off, but you gave those aliens a real kick in the ass.
Language, Madam President, language. I always had faith in you, Snap, my boy, and the rest of the BrassGears Adventurers Society.
From deepest darkness, Africa to the mountains of Bolivia, we'll pour a glass of wine sharply and raise a toast to destiny. For none but God can know our fate. We must remain inviolate and pledge our trust as free to the BrassGears Adventure Society.
We hope you have enjoyed Uranus Attacks by Brad Fleener and Robert Uy. Our play featured the voices of Mandy Arthur Struess as Mrs. Vivian Fogg, Marcy Brightwell as President Pullman, Brad Fleener as Professor Edwin Dane, Molly Ketchum as the Suffragette and Letitia Potts of the Pennsylvania Pots, Susan Liebhart as Susanna Davenport, R.J. Lundgren as Pope Barnabas Brass Boilerplate and Mr. T. Frank Otersky as the Drunk and Hugo Winklesham. Joe Spruce as Mr. Phineas Fogg. Mitch Thompson as Snap O'Grady. Patricia Uy as Sir Neelix. And Robert Uy as Captain Monty McAllister and yours truly, the announcer. Foley was done by Robert Uy, Marcy Brightwell, Brad Fleener, R.J. Lundgren, Molly Ketchum, and Gusto Uy. BrassGears theme song by Jeanette Roth. Sound engineer and mixing by Robert Uy. And as always, brought to you today by Kentucky's own bourbon.
Always goes down crisp, always goes down smooth.
I am the great Cornholio, master of all the planets. You have not heard the last from Uranus. Must have been something I ate.
Will the Uranians return to conquer the Earth? Will Hugo fall in love with Letitia? Will everyone own a Mr. T robot in the future? Join us again next time for another thrilling tale of adventure with BrassGears Adventure Radio, as well as fascinating wombat mating rituals and exciting tales of social distancing, right here on these BrassGears Adventure Radio stations.